All right. Let's talk about slope. All right. So last time we talked a little bit about the different types of slopes that we have, right? If we're going from left to right and it's going upward as a positive slope, if it's going from left to right and it's going downward as a negative slope, and then we have a horizontal line, which is a zero slope because we have zero fun skiing on that. And then we have the vertical line, which gives you the undefined slope. Okay, so you always want to check yourself when you're graphing a line to say, hey, did I graph a line that is correct? Okay, so if your equation has a positive slope and you graph a graph that's going, downward, going from left to right, then you know you did something wrong. Okay, so since we're talking about slope today, let's get into that. Okay, so slope. All right, so we thought, well, what we did was we know that this is labeled as M. All right, and we know that slope is rise over run. Okay, now rise over run, and we said that if the top number is positive, then we would move up. If it's negative, we would move down. And run, if it was positive, the bottom number was positive, we would move right. And if it was negative, we would move left. All right. This is used in two different scenarios. One is if I had to find the slope with a given graph, right? So if the line was already on the graph and I had to figure out the slope, I would pick 2 points and I would just count, right? So if I was given a graph of a line, okay? So I would use rise over run to figure out if that line was positive or negative. A second way that this can be used is in y equals mx plus b, right? Because if I get y by itself, I have the slope here, and that would tell me how to move from the y-intercept, right? So the rise over run has two different scenarios here, but there is a third way of finding slope. Okay, and that is if I'm given 2 points. So here's another way of finding slope. Slope is equal to the change in y over the change in x, meaning it'd be y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So we would use this if we were given 2 points. Those 2 points would be x1, y1, and x2, y2. Okay, those are my 2 different points here, and that's what I would plug in to figure out which one it is. So all the subscript, here's the subscript that I'm talking about. So subscript meaning it's lowered, all right? Superscript means it's raised. So all the subscript means is keep it in order. So if I use the blue y first, that means on the bottom I'll have to use the blue x first. If I use the red y first on top, then I will have to use the red x first on the bottom. And you're like, what are you talking about, dude? So, in other words, how about if I put it this way? I could say that the slope is either equal to y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Or I could also say y1 minus y2 over x1 minus x2. These both mean the same thing. It's just trying to tell you stay consistent. Stay in order, okay? It's not about fairness. It's about order, all right? So let's use an example. So let's say, so we did a bunch of stuff with these two here, right? With rise over run. So this is really the new thing that we really need here. So that's what we're going to talk about. So let's say I'm given find the slope of a line that goes through -2, -9, and 6, -5. Okay? So, there's my 2 points there. Typically what I do is I like to stack them. So I go, okay, slope is equal to. So I'm going to use a blue first, so -9 minus a -5 over -2 minus a 6. Or I can also do -5 minus a -9 over 6 minus a -2. Okay? Like both of these ways are exactly the same. You're going to get the same exact answer. Okay? So the one on the left is going to give you is 9 minus a -5. So minus a -5 means plus 5. So -9 plus 5 is going to give you -4 over -2 minus 6 is going to give you a -8. And here's my or. All right, let's take a look at this. This says 5 minus a -9. Minus a -9 means to plus 9. So -5 plus 9 is going to be a +4 over 6 minus a -2 minus the -2 means plus 2. So it'll be 6 plus 2, so it's going to get 8. So either way I look at this, both of these are going to equal to a +4 over 8, which is equal to 1/2. So that is equal to my slope. Okay, so the slope with these 2 points would be that. Okay, so let's do something a little more scary. So let's say that oops, I'm cheating. Let's say this one says 2, 2 comma -1/3 and 7 comma 5/3. Okay. Oh no, not fractions. Ah, right. So again, I like to stack them. Because stacking them, I can see the x's line up and the y values line up. So that this way, when I write it out, it's very easy for me. So I can say, okay, slope is equal to. So I can go, okay, look at the blues. I mean, look at the y's, right? So I got -1/3 and then the 5/3, right? And then look at the x's, the 2 and then the 7, okay? So this way I can see everything appropriately, okay? So from there, okay, I guess I should do the or. If I do the or, then, so again, I'm looking at the y values. And then still the y values. And then the 7, and then the 2. Okay? So both of these mean the same thing. So the top, I'm adding, subtracting fractions. So I'm bringing a different concept into graphing, right? I'm adding, subtracting fractions into the concept of, finding slope. So when I am doing that, what do I have? Well, I need common denominators. I have common denominators. They're both 3. So I add or subtract the top and keep the bottom. So it's going to be a -6 over 3. And then 2 minus 7 is -5. Or, so this side says 5 minus a -1 means +1. So I'm going to say 6 over 3. And then the bottom is going to be 5. Okay? So what I can do is, hold on, something's wrong. Oh, here's an, nope, this is right. Okay, so what I can do here is say, okay, so this left one here is a -2 over a -5. And this one here says 2 over 5. So either way, I can say my slope is equal to 2 over 5. Because the left one, remember, negative divided by negative is positive. So there goes my slope. All right. I hope this helps. If you got any questions, let me know.